Hey guys, welcome back. NinjaLlama here again. And I know what you're thinking. Cobblestone watermelons. Delicious. No, actually, I made a melon farm so I could get seed oil, and I was getting so many seeds that it was ridiculous. So actually, I've cut it way down to, to just these last few spots, and I still have plenty. I'm not using a ton right now. If I start making a bunch of frames, I'll probably open a few more rows up. But I actually removed the oh, I'm missing a spot. I actually removed the melon farm because every time a melon grows and then it's harvested, it will replace the block below it with a tilled dirt block, and so it'll use up a dirt, even though it doesn't have to. So it's really pointless in my opinion because I mean they still grow, and I just left the harvester and it'll harvest it. And see, if the farm was here, this just turns it into seeds, so we can send it back. But it would replace these right here with tilled dirt, and it would use up the dirt. And I think it would give us back a sand or something. I can't remember, but it doesn't need to do that, and it doesn't get rid of these, so it was really pointless. So I just put it down and had it clear out this room and plant and put the water, and then I just removed it. But have to show you guys something. I've been playing with the portal gun again, and I have a gold and string farm now. Let me breed these cows real quick. I'll just fall in here with them. I'm making a lot of leather for ender pouches, and I'll get into that in a minute. But here is my gold and string spawner. Like I said, I went through a bunch of abandoned mine shafts, and I just went back and got some of them. There's still a few more out there, but I think we're good right now. Hey, you're not allowed up here. There we go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cave spider spawners, a regular one, and then 4 zombie pigmen spawners from little Thaumcraft altars. But we'll let this run for a second. But the reason I'm getting leather is for these ender pouches, because I made a electric jetpack recharge station where you just drop your jetpack in there and it'll recharge it and give it back to you. And I've given most of the members on the server, everybody that I've seen so far, one of these, so it'll just run through, and we'll check that out in a minute. But let's go down and see if we have let me make sure I have my jetpack on. I've jumped off of this and died a number of times. I also like to have it way down here at the bottom because we're way out of range of the spawners, and let's get rid of that. It's no fun to have cave spiders spawning while you're down here collecting stuff. So basically I have string, nugget, and rotten flesh spawner here. It's really handy because I've been doing some Thaumcraft stuff. The gold's always handy. As you can see, I got a little wand of lightning. It's pretty neat. These are used up though. I did a lot of mining. I got into the Tesseract stuff with the turtles, and I set up an item Tesseract, which basically just teleports your items back to you. And so I just filled up the turtles with tons and tons of charcoal, and I set up a little station here to teleport everything back to the base. And I used a chunk loader and let it run overnight. So it took out 2 64 by 64 chunks. Hey there, man. So I got lots of stuff. I mean, it is ridiculous. I'm not going to have to go mining in the foreseeable future right now. I came back and got all the valuable stuff out of the walls, but like iron and redstone and nickelite, I have way too much of it. So we're just going to leave it here for now. But we will run back up, and it's daytime, so we'll check out the jetpack charging station, and then we will see what I've been up to with the bees. I Can't believe you guys didn't tell me how horrible that tower looked when I was building it. I'd logged off and came back on, and I was like, whoa, that's terrible. But I fixed it. No worries. But this setup is fairly simple. It's got a little snow on it here. But you will drop your jetpack off, and it will go in this ender chest. This is a filter here, and it will only pick up uncharged jetpacks and partially charged jetpacks. And it'll shoot them in this MFE, and it'll charge them up pretty quickly. May go to an MFSU in the future if we get more power. But right now we're still just running off our advanced solar panels. It does the farm too. Oh, I wonder how this works with snow on it. But this timer, just every 4 seconds, it will pulse these, and it'll check if anything's in there. And then this one only pulls out fully charged jetpacks. Sometimes it pulls them out right before it's fully charged, but that's no big deal. And then it puts them back in the same color ender chest. So the gray ender chest will just redo the it'll just, everything that goes in here, it will just, be charged and put back in there. And because this filter is there, you can't really, jetpack, it's a little bit down. Let's mess with it. See, it won't pull ender pouches out or basalt or slime balls or anything else because of that filter. But if you drop a jetpack in there, when the timer goes around, it will suck it up, run it through the MFE, and then it will put it back in here fully charged. And that is pretty handy. I've used it many times. I know a few others have as well. That's really handy. So check out the new B Tower design. I am so glad I went with this. I had done the little pieces on the outside, and I just couldn't get them to look the way I wanted to. I tried half moon shapes, some vertical things. I didn't like it. But then I thought, why don't we put it in the middle of this helix structure, because it kind of looks like a DNA strand with the B DNA. So that will be neat. We'll show you the production bees that I have right now. These mean that it's out of frames, but all these 4 are imperial bees, and then this one's empty. The only one I've gotten up to is this one so far. Have a corroded queen, and these produce tiny piles of copper dust from their copper cone. It runs through the same setup as before, and it runs into this item tesseract, which is set to bee production tower. So it will go in that item tesseract and the ones in the upper ones once they are filled, and they will go down to this one, which is set to the same frequency, but it is on receive only instead of send only. And then it'll run through here, and all the combs that I currently get, these 3 will go straight into these 2 centrifuges. Here's another tesseract for energy, which just keeps this powered up, powers these. I throttled it down because I checked, and it looked like centrifuges used as much power as they could, or at least off of that, and it didn't go much faster, so I just put it at 10, and it seems to work. Oh, see, we're about to see the system work. Dripping comb went in, and then the honeydew will come out, maybe a honey drop, just honeydew this time, and it'll go into here. And then this is just another filter on another little timer, and it runs into our little setup. So far we've got 19 tiny piles of copper, some royal jelly, honeydew, honey drops. I've added 2 barrels for the ones that I think I'm going to have the most of, and these are just placeholders so it doesn't fill up with stuff. But I'm really liking how this is coming along. It looks really neat, I think. Let's get a higher view. I really like the helix shape. I think that's a nice thing. I'm really liking the open feel to the buildings I've been doing recently. I think I'm going to stick with that for a while. I'm, finding that you don't have to have everything square and enclosed, so I'm enjoying this. You'll just have to get up there with the jetpack. This is Feed the Beast overall. You should have a jetpack. As far as the bees go, I just have some unwearies. Here's some leadens, lapis. Those were basically used to get to emeralds. We're in the gemstone branch. I think these are, oh, here's our ender princesses. I'm going to use these to make ender pearls. Here's another copper. Let's make some more drones. Resilience we're going to use a lot because tarnish to make 10. And we need to get a rusty drone. It's a cultivated resilient mutation. And I have all the other three. I have tarnished and corroded's over there and in here. Leaden, which is right here. But we only have one rusty princess, and this will produce iron. So we're going to have to wait and breed some more cultivated resilience to get some more rusties so we don't ruin our purebred bee. I've been running all of our bees because I finally got we got low fertility for what we put over in the tower. I got cave dwelling, rainfall, and nocturnal, so the bees will work at night, in the rain, and without the sky exposed to them, because I have those little floating islands stacked, so that's important. Then I also put fast productivity and elongated lifespan, which is why I had bred some of these ancient drones so I could get that trade off of them. It's pretty much all that's new down here. I fixed our power situation and put it over to biofuel. We are doing really good in power situation. Let's just throw this stuff off for now. Actually, let's not throw that in there. We have barrels for them. That's why they're here. We'll throw this in here. Let's check out the setup. Still a work in progress, but here's our energy tesseract that goes to the bees. Here is the assembly table room. Those two giant turtles holes that they dug, they gave me a ton of diamonds, so I was able to build more lasers. This thing works pretty quick. We have lots of biofuel. In fact, the tank and everything is full. Here's our bank of engines so far. This is the biggest possible steam boiler. It's got 4 levels of the high pressure boilers on a 3x3 base. And we're going to set up a second one of these in just a minute. I don't know if we'll actually hook it up and get it pumping just yet, because we need to have more engines for it. But we're going to set another, basically a mirror, the bottom half on the top up here. So we're going to have, this is 18 engines right now of the industrial steam, which is the max that one of these boilers can hold, because each one of these blocks produces enough steam to power one of these at half power. So every 2 you have one engine, and there's 36 total. So gives us our 18. I went with this basalt pavers and just some levers. I think that gave it a cool look, and we'll just replicate that up top. Like in these cage lights, been putting them everywhere. Let's see, I've been getting into a little bit of the Thaumcraft. My floor's on fire. Don't have much done. Here's our Thaumonomicon. I have a lot of the transmutation stuff, which I probably really won't use because I have so much stuff. But you lose quite a bit when you do that, so I probably won't ever do that. Oop. This little bombs, those nice lights. I'm down through all the wands. Got the tools, a chest. This is kind of neat. If you throw items at it, it will just go ahead and suck them up without you having to actually put them in there. I've been using enchanted fabric to make some boots of the traveler, which are really nice. They let you walk faster, and you can like run up without jumping a one tall deal. But getting into the golems, haven't made one yet, but I'm starting to research all the stuff. That's pretty entertaining, but it isn't very conducive to recording, because this is how you do it. You sit here and you click this button until the little aspects appear, and then you just try and fill them out. So it's not very easy to record, or it'd get very boring is what would happen. And then this back there is just an obsidian pipe to a void pipe, because I've gotten so much stuff from those farms that I've just started dumping them. I'm going to fix this so our floor continues, but I was afraid if I left it without this, the barrels would fill up, and then it would lag the server, because I would have tons of this stuff just sitting on the ground, and nobody needs that many seeds. I mean, there's no way. So I just been dumping them. I need to move these over there, so if they overflow, they can go in there. Here's our power setup so far. We got these stills set up that convert our mass into biofuel. It will run through. We have some sugar cane that is making plant balls, and I put 2 sugarcane harvesters. There's just 4 levels that all look the same. They look like this. Don't want to stay down here too long, because creepers will blow up. I've had it happen to me several times. Are we still making? Nope. We need lots of steel for those engines, and this takes an eternity, but it gets it done. We have compost. I was using fertilizer that I got from Appetite but I have all of these plant balls, and right now, they're all full, so they're shot up into this pulverizer, which turns them into dirt. And again, I had to put another void pipe, because we were getting so much dirt in here that it was, spilling over and landing on the floor. So half of it just gets destroyed, and half of it goes into this auto crafting table. And then, see, we already have 4,000 compost. And then we have this is a filter, or it may be a transposer. I think it's a transposer. But it will send out, a compost as each one needs it. Works really well. Pretty sure we have enough to fuel 2 boilers, because this is completely backed up. So I think we'll be good to go. As far as the boilers go, it's very important to keep them full of water, because they will explode if you add water to a hot boiler. And it's a pretty strong explosion, so we want to make sure that kept full of water. It says you can pipe water to it, but an aqueous accumulator just under any of them. I just put it under the center so I can hide all the water. I mean, it keeps up with this one. I mean, no problem whatsoever. So, I mean, I think we'll just do that. We need to also run our pipes over there, and we may use some, because we don't have enough steel for those industrial engines. But when I very first got started, they are in here. I made a bunch of these commercial steam engines, and these only produce 4 MJ, but we may put these on there if we get the boiler up and running, just so we're not wasting power. So let's grab our liquid fueled firebox, and we'll go ahead and grab these. We won't run fuel to it until we're done, because it will just reset all of the steam that is in there. I learned that on the first one. So we don't want to go ahead and add a bunch of, is this all we need? I think so, at least for now. Run a bunch of power to it, because I had 3 layers at first, and I thought, I'll just throw the last 4th one to make it the largest possible, and it completely reset the steam and the heat. And this takes hours real time to heat up, and it burns tons of fuel when it is really cold. Now that it's warmed up, it just barely sips the fuel, so that'll be good. But let's go ahead and throw these down, and you can do these with a single block, I think a 2x2, or you can just go all the way up to the 3x3. See, it's already working. Oh no, it's not. It just connected. It won't. I don't think you can click on it until you actually have boilers on it. And these are high pressure, right? Yes. Okay. See, they're still separated, so we don't have enough. If you only have a 1 1x1 or 2x2, I think it will work with a single layer. But this big one, you have to at least have 2 layers. So when I throw that on there, the gaps will close up, and now we can click on it. It'll go ahead and fill with water. But 16 bucks of fuel. See, it starts out at 20C, and then no steam. And we don't want to, because as soon as I connect these 2 pipes, just have to hit them with a crescent hammer on this face or this face, and it will connect up, and we waste all that. So we don't want to do that. But let's see, we may have to make more liquid ducts too, because we're going to have to connect our pipes. I mean, our middle would, I guess it really doesn't matter, so we'll just throw one on here. Actually, we don't want it to connect to the other boiler, so I'll bad day. Oh, there's a hole here, but we don't want to connect to the other boiler, so we'll just knock this out. I'll clear this wall out, fix the floor, but let's just go ahead. Where should our steam come in? I guess the motor or the engines will be right here, so I guess right here would be a decent area, and we need to come back one more. So we will just knock this out, run this all the way back to our second boiler. We're actually producing more EU per tick than a redstone energy cell can input, so we'd just be wasting it. So I just completely got rid of those 3 energy cells that we had, because now, you know, we have 16 of them running at 8 EU, and that's like 120 EU per tick, I think, if I can do math in my head. I may not, but I've also been experimenting with this black border. I really like how these smooth stones and these basalt covers go. I use the covers because it uses a lot less bricks, and I don't have a ton of them, so that's always handy to have. Let's see, what else do we need to do? Let's check this out. Still have a good jetpack. The next thing is we have to wait on steel, and it takes forever to get enough steel in here. But we will go ahead and stock it back up. And actually, we can throw a little bit more iron in too. Just, there we go. Because 64 coal will only smelt 16 steel. So that's good. Let's jump up here. Put our stuff up for now, because let's see, 26 steel, and we are going to have, oh, wrong one. This is where I was making ender pouches. We're going to have 4 steel per gear, and it's 2 gears, you know, per engine, and so that's a lot. And then we still have to have steel plates for them, as well as more boilers. So I think I am going to run some of this steel through there. Actually, I don't know if we're going to need, oh yeah, we're still going to need more, because we have to have steel plates for the engines themselves. But 36 steel plates will give us 18 more high pressure boilers, and we already had 18. So let's throw these bad boys on here, and it will undo itself, and this is why it would be so bad for us to do that before. And this is the maximum size, I've been told. Boom. There we go. We'll add a lot more water to it. Make sure everything's lit up, because we do not want any creepers down here blowing all of our stuff up. I'm going to replace it all with these cage lights once we get there. But this room is a major work in progress. I think I may make it look like kind of a cave at the top, but the bottom, you know, have like a border and some, you know, finer details. But we will work on that. I will create more steel for these engines, and I'll cut back after that, so you can see us. We may get this boiler started today. We will see. I will be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. I think it's going to take a really long time for all that steel. In fact, I know it will. So don't have time to wait for that right now. So we are just going to set up with these lower ones because they will take over when this starts up. Because I'll just leave this going because I have a chunk loader. So this runs when I'm not here. Floor's on fire again. So I don't want to waste all that biofuel. So it'll just power the rest of the machines and go out to the farms. I need to run this out to the farms and over to the bee tower. So let's just hook this up real fast. Let's see, we're going to drop these down, and for some reason they always point at the next engine, so we'll just give them all a little bump there. And then these, oh, don't shift click those. Did I get it? No, I didn't. Oh, here it is. Shift click with that removes it instantly. Woo, up close and personal right there. But a single click will change it from input, which is blue. We don't want power going into the engine. We want power coming out of the engine. So we're going to go through and tap all of these. There we go. Now we will, it should stay the same. So let's just drop these down. Wonder what happens if you let an engine power an engine next to it. I'm not going to experiment right here on our main power thing, but I may do that experimenting later. And then these, I believe, well, in fact, I know they need redstone power to operate, so we're just going to throw more of these pavers because I like how they look, and I plan on using some more of this stone like around the trim probably. So let's go ahead and throw all these on here and turn them on. I mean, there's no reason we would ever want, oh, hello, fell off. No reason we'd ever want any of these off, you know, unless for some reason couldn't power it all, but it should be able to. But I think that looks pretty neat. We may refine it a little bit. I'll come back and fix the ceiling, of course, so it's not just this nasty dirt. But it'll do good. I may, we're just like 3 or 4 layers below the surface, so I may put a layer, like put some covers and then put some like obsidian or other blast resistant block there so we don't you know, accidentally blow up part of our stuff. I think that looks pretty neat. May put some blocks down the center, I don't know yet, but it seems like when I had this with just one output, it didn't power them all fully, so I just hooked a bunch of them up. May not need that many, but just because we can, we're just going to throw you know, several more of these on here just to make sure that we have enough steam. That looks kind of, I'll adjust it later, or you know what, we're standing here. Let's just go ahead and knock this over one more. We'll have it come in on the center right here. There we go. So these will pump up, and actually let's move this all up one. Actually didn't need to remove that one. Like the other ones, the design will be similar. This one's one higher, but we'll still have our little same star pattern. And I've noticed if you right click on these, which is supposed to pull liquid out, it doesn't seem to work with these boilers. It's just, you know, you leave it regular. But like on the biomass setup, you have to turn them to input and then a redstone signal, and they'll, you know, pump the fluid out without even you know, redstone engine. But these you seem to have to leave like that. So let's make sure everything is up and running or hooked up correctly. It looks, whoa, hello, I need to learn how to fly. But I think all those are on output. So let's go over here, make sure we have water, and we will, let's connect them. Dun, 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 dun. Awesome. And that will start draining the tank. With this one, it drained it about, I don't know, like 100, 200 buckets, something like that, before it caught up again. Hopefully it will be similar. But if you'll watch this flame, see how it just stays there for a long time, then it barely drops down. Look at this flame when it's at 20. Watch it. It will starts up there, and then it falls really quickly in comparison to the other one. And just like in real life, you won't produce steam until 100 degrees C. So, I mean, this will slowly get better. I think it says it uses 8 times more fuel or something like that at startup. But I think we will be able to cope because every one of our stills is backed up with all this biomass, and our fermenters, have lots of plant balls to go through, because we're actually throwing away quite a bit of stuff. So hopefully this will solve our problem of wasting so much stuff. And also, those bee machines can take up to 1,000 MJ per tick. I mean, we're not going to get anywhere close to that, but we will have like 200, and they do run a lot faster on these engines. And I will go back and replace these with these industrial ones once I have the steel. But that thing takes forever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I'm at the wrong side of the building. And please remember to like, favorite, subscribe. You know what to do. I hope you like the new bee tower. I like it much more than the old one. But I will see you guys next episode. Thanks for watching.